Hey, how you doing there again, folks? Me again, of course, Brandon Wenzel. Come back at you. Another offering off my sampler platter. Yes, I eat folks. I'm Platter videos. Here's videos I would do for the while now. Where I go over there, try out food and drink items. I eat the stuff, I drink stuff. Then, folks, I'm going to talk about the stuff. I'm going to let you know all that you need to know about hopefully delicious stuff that at the time I'm doing this, folks, I mean, is it really Juggalo for life? I mean, I don't know. I'm not part of that particular subculture. I've had friends who were, periodically. Most of them moved out of the Juggalo life. I'm just saying. But, hey, nothing against ICP or any of those folks. They're doing what they're doing. Anyway, folks. I'm inside the truck, as you can see. I'm not wearing a grody work clothes, though, so that's good. Not only for, me not being in grody clothes, but then on top of that, I get to wear a cool shirt. Folks, when I wear a cool shirt, I like to highlight the shirt because it's a cool shirt. What cool shirt am I wearing today? Boom! We're rocking my Zero shirt. If you're not familiar with Zero, he's a character from mostly from the Mega Man X franchise, and then moving into the Mega Man Zero franchise, where he actually took center stage. Excellent character. Been around since the first Mega Man X game. Had different roles. Sometimes he was just kind of a mentor character. Then you got to play as him. Then he got to be a full playable character. It's a great character. I've always loved him. Even if when I was a kid, so many people were confused about whether or not he was a guy or a girl, specifically because he had long blonde hair. Because back in those days, you just couldn't have long hair and not be a guy, I guess. But anyway, folks, what am I trying for y'all today? Well, going back to the whole Juggalo thing, we got some fancy Faygo because we're doing boom. It is Faygo. Faygo Original Rock and Rye. Naturally and artificially flavored cream cola made with 100% cane sugar. Established in 1907. There you go. So I knew that Faygo had like glass bottle versions of their stuff for a while. I'm sure I've probably even had one or two. Typically when you think Faygo, though, you think like the big plastic, like liter bottles that you can get at gas stations. Usually they're pretty cheap. And I've done some Faygo stuff on the channel. I did like their Rocket Pop soda and stuff. One or two other things. And I've mentioned in there that like one of my points of contention with Faygo is that their stuff, it tastes a little bit cheap to me, and hey, it's just my personal opinion, but I still drink their stuff occasionally. It's just not a go-to. But this is fancy, folks. It's fancy. So I saw this. I got it at a place called Rocket Fizz in St. Charles, Illinois. They're a special candy and soda place. I've done reviews for a bunch of stuff I've gotten from there. I saw this and I figured, what the fuck? I don't even know what to expect with the Rock and Rye, albeit it says that it's a cream cola, so let's try it out, folks. Let's twist off. Open. It kind of smells like Big Red soda, which if you've ever had Big Red soda, it's a soda from Texas, and it's like a red cream soda. It smells a lot like that. Maybe it'll taste like that. Let's give it a go. It does taste like Big Red, but it's different. So it's very similar. Like, it could be a cousin to Big Red soda. Two things kind of sway it. I don't feel that it's quite as sweet as Big Red soda. Big Red's a very sweet soda. And Big Red soda, even though they call it like a red cream soda, it kind of has like a bubblegum sort of taste to it. If you've ever had bubblegum soda. This kind of has that a little bit, but it's more, I'm going to go ahead and say, I guess, like fruity flavored. Like, it's not, and mind you, it's not like it's real heavily fruity flavored. It's just, instead of getting, like, the initial flavor is very similar to Big Red, but then it's not as sweet. And then instead of, like I said, sort of becoming more of a sort of bubblegum kind of flavor, it has kind of this like fruity bite to it. Yeah. I don't know. I don't know exactly what fruit it's supposed to be. Um, I mean, it's red, so you think maybe like a red fruit. Uh, Cherry tends to be a pretty popular fruit to put into sodas, but it's also like an old timey kind of drink, so it could be some weird shit that like I don't know, they have to like dig out of mines or something like that and used to cause black lung. Which if it did, black lung was tasty. I'm just saying. That's really good. Like I like this a lot. And in fact, I would, and I say this, you know, with having a great deal of love for Big Red soda. I think I might actually prefer this to Big Red. Maybe. It's hard to say. Like, this is my first experience with it, so, obviously I would have to, for one thing, I'd have to have a bigger supply of this stuff. I just have the one. But I'd have to kind of take it in more to see how it, sort of goes long term. But as I've gotten older, I do have appreciation for less sweet sodas. So although I still like Big Red, like the fact that it is a very sweet soda is less appealing to me than when I was younger. When I was younger is, a big selling point. So I like the fact that it is a little bit less sweet. It's still, excuse me, still a sweet soda, but it has more of a bite to it. And if you've ever watched me review anything root beer related, I love bite. I love that that just punch of flavor that you get where it's almost abrasive, but then at least for me, kind of dials it's I don't know, it just gives this nice impact, gives the drink personality. Yeah, like I said, I mean, at least with Big Red, I've got a gas station by my house that sells the stuff, and I'd like to try the other like Big Red variations because they actually have like a big pineapple and like a big blue cream soda. Like I'd like to try those at some point in time. Maybe I'll even do reviews for them. Um, but yeah, I like this quite a bit. In fact, I would go as far as to say that this is probably my outright favorite Faygo flavor. And I mean maybe that's just the way that it was styled. Because the thing is, I don't know the difference between this and the more conventional stuff. I don't know if they're different branches or how that whole thing works, but I like this more than any of like the modern iterations that I've had because it like I said, and I don't mean to be mean to Faygo, but like I said, it does feel a little bit bargainy. It's like it's the stuff that I could go over there and get at Dollar Trees and stuff. You could buy two big ass things for like $1. Back when I was in high school and shit. And it just kind of it felt like that was appropriate. Like tasting it, it was like this is about what I should spend for this. Wasn't bad, but it wasn't anything great. This I actually like a lot, and like this is actually like a nice standout drink for me. So I can get down with the glass bottle Faygo. Maybe I'll go over there and try some of the other ones, but at least the original Rock and Rye, I'm down with. It managed to not only go over there and impress me, but it hit on a particular flavor combination that I'm also a fan of. So I'm down with that. I'm very down with that. Now, that said, folks, 2 questions have to be asked. Would I get it again? Would I recommend it? Yes and yes. Yes and yes. I would definitely get it again. In fact, I will. I think if the next time I go to Rocket Fizz, I'll try to see if I can find some of the other glass bottle Faygos. See how that whole thing goes. But I could see picking one up. I like it a lot. And as to whether or not I would recommend it, I mean, yeah, it's a good soda. If you can find it, I would definitely give it a shot. Like I said, I mean, I think if you're already familiar with Big Red, definitely give it a shot because I think it's similar but also different enough that it's interesting. Might create a nice comparison for you. But I think if you're good with somewhat older style sodas, whether it be your colas, your Dr. Pepper, your root beer, what have you, I think that this kind of fits within that family. It's not, one for one, but I feel like it has that sort of old-timey soda appeal. So, anyway, folks, that's going to do it for me on this one. 5 things before I get out of here. Have yourself a great rest of your day, spectacular rest of your week, monumental rest of your month, stupendous rest of your year. And folks, if you can go over there and have yourselves a truly 1907 rest of your life, no, that's not good. You don't want a 1907 rest of your life. That can't possibly. It just polio for days and lead paint and child labor. It's not good. The past is usually pretty awful. Then you've got the turn of the century past. There's no way that's not an abomination. Titanic sank. Was that in the 1900s? Or was that like the late 1800s? I want to say, because it was prior to World War I know that, but I don't know the specific date. I love history, but I'm shit with dates. Final 2 things, folks. Number 1, try to bring some positivity in your world. It's not always possible. It is, however, always appreciated. But we can't do it all the time. I know I can't do it all the time. Here's what you're going to do, folks. You're going to try not to be an asshole. That's not the easiest thing in the world to do, folks. Trust me, I believe it. I know it. We find ourselves in situations where we're stressed out. We get into, all kinds of confrontations. Might want to risk dropping your trowel and letting your asshole out every now and again. Sometimes that's what you have to do. That's a fact. But, hopefully, take a step back, try to mitigate the level of assholishness in our lives, hopefully do better for ourselves and for those around us. Very final thing, folks, do the thing. Whatever the thing is for you, that's what I want you to go out and do. Folks, maybe you're going to go over there and you're going to get yourself some Faygo Rock and Rye, established in 1907. And you're going to go over there and you're going to give it a drink and you're going to like it, just as I've done here in this video today. But maybe unlike myself, it'll go over there and teleport you into the past, specifically to 1907. And maybe you'll go over there and with the knowledge you have of the future, provided that it didn't happen after 1907, you go over there, you stop the sinking of the Titanic, change world events, maybe prevent a little World War II. Just find Hitler and like Stalin and fucking Mussolini, all those douchebags, and just never stop punching them. Just never stop punching them. People will be confused, but you're from the future. You're allowed. There's different restrictions for you. Or conversely, because that seems pretty unlikely that would occur, instead, you could go over there. The time I'm doing this, we're still promptly in winter, and we finally got like some decent snow. Maybe go over there, folks. Maybe go sledding with your family or just by yourself if you want to. I don't know how savory sledding by yourself is. But, you do you. Bye.